Hi, I'm Luke from Yamaha. I'm here today at Guitar to Guitar in Glasgow. I've got the new Yamaha PSR SX920, and there's also a 720 below it. Let's go over just a few of the quick sort of notes on what's different in this. For me, what the biggest thing is it's got dynamics control now, which has come from the Genos 2. It's such a great feature where you can, as you're playing and you've got the backing band behind you, you can control it. And so it's not a volume, it's an intensity. So the drummer starts playing a little bit less rather than really hitting the snare, and you really hear it. There's twice as much power for the styles, so you've got more insert effects, double in both instruments. There's also double the RAM for your own user sounds. A ton of new sounds, so I think there's 250 new sounds in here, and I think there's nearly 400 in the 720. 50 new styles, everything's sort of like kind of, you know, a bit different. One more assignable button over here, but also the joystick is much more assignable. So if I show you here, so not only have we got pitch bend and modulation, but we can also choose whatever we want. Pretty much anything that the keyboard can do, we can sort of like program into that joystick. Also, we can do that with the live control buttons as well. We've got assignable here. So on my foot there, I've got the dynamics control, so I can change that as we play. Assignable goes also across the top here. We've got assignable buttons. So that's, you can choose how you play. And so for example, on mine, on F, I've got it so I can change how the fingering works for the left hand. And also these buttons on the touch screen is also, you can press that and they will also be programmable. Also, so we've got VH2 technology for the vocal mic on this one, so we can add harmonies around it. And you can also blend that with your foot or with the assignable things. Classics like the one-touch settings, so when you choose a style, Yamaha have already pre-programmed in 4 settings that might have, say you're playing some blues, it might have sax, it might have organ, and it might have piano, all kind of ready. 3 sounds in your right hand, maximum. You can also put a sound in your left, as well as the styles. What else is there? You can record, so you can record MIDI, you can record audio. On the 920, you've got Bluetooth, so you can have a backing track coming in Bluetooth, and when you press record, everything gets sort of recorded down. So you could record your performance or record your ideas of a song you've written and send it out. Actually, when you do record as well, especially when you're doing the MIDI, we've got score here in the middle. And let me just do that. I'll do something very quickly. Quick recording. Right. And if I save that, new song, save here. Okay, just a very quick thing. And there we go, all written out. And that'd be great if you're a teacher and you were writing the school play and you wanted to get the oboe part and give it away. Or it's just a really quick, I mean, it would take me a lot longer to have written that out. Yes, so a whole load of new sounds, a whole load of new styles. Often when you pick these styles, you know, you might hear a song and go, oh God, you know, I could definitely play some classic 60s track over that. Or you might, if you're like into, if you live near the coast and you're playing all the old classics, they're all sort of like in here, many sort of like the old swing, all the old bossa novas, all the old Latin, and there's also expansion packs. So if you were Eastern European and you had some folk that you wanted to do, it's very easy to download and get even more stuff. So, very quickly, 3 intros, 4 main variations, a break, which is like a fill, and 3 endings. As the numbers go along, or the letters go on, it gets more intensity and it gets, or a bigger intro. Right, so we have intro 3, sync start, let's go. I can bring it down and bring it up. And then it down. Back up. Another cool feature on this is you've got chord looper, and for the first time I think this is being brought in on the 720. Again, very easy to play, so let's just go on that one. So we have a chord loop going around of. Now I press it to loop, and now we've got the whole keyboard to play. So I can choose some piano. So now I can play it like a real piano. So, and for the first time we got smart chord as well, and this is really cool. It's an easy way to play if you're not up on all your chords. So what we've got, smart chord, we choose the setting. We were in C major before, and at this point we can go C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B flat, F, C. But there's also different options. So if we play jazz, so there we've got C major 7, F major 7, G dominant 7th. And so that's quite cool, different styles. It's an option. So if you aren't, like that up on your chords. I do think as well though, it's kind of, learning piano can be quite difficult for a kid sometimes as well, where you've got all these notes set out and you're playing like right across the keyboard, and it's quite hard to work out why you're playing stuff. I find that sometimes with classical musicians, someone will shoot me in the comments, but they might not know why they're playing something. They're just playing what's written down. Whereas when you learn with the left hand doing that, it's very easy to visualize C major and know why I'm playing it. So it's quite a cool way of learning. And also, if you're a kid, it can be a lot more interesting playing with styles than it can be just playing a piano that doesn't really move. Yeah, let's see what else is in here. Let's go for a shorter intro. So clearly sort of like late 60s, but it's quite cool what you can do with this sort of stuff. You know, that gives you a certain style of what you want to play, but it's also very easy to just tap in a much slower tempo. Let's get a cool electric piano up. And yep, let's just go. So exactly the same beat. So bring in left hand. Just shows you like how you might hear something the first time, but it's very easy to just switch it up. Also in the drums there, so I could show you if I bring the dynamics control down. So and let the drummer. So it's quite cool. It's, it's keeping the same old parts, but actually probably lose a few of them. But it's like here we're going to go all the way down. So the rise halved. Oh, yeah. So it's quite cool. I mean, for me, that's a great feature. So imagine you're a giggy musician and you're in the pub, and everyone's singing a classic track, and you could just keep it going. So rather than a backing track, you can keep going round and round. But you could also then drop it down and then build them up, and it could be a great thing to do. That chord looper as well. So I did it on the fly earlier, but also we can come in here and we can, let's get a different song up. So what we could do is, we can actually pre-program as well. So on this track. So if I press play now, so then, say we get to the next section, which I could save on the registration memory as well. We could go. Take the band down. Yeah, so it's quite a cool sort of idea of what you could do with that. As I said, registration memories, you could have it set across your song. So this could be your intro, that could be your verse, that could be your pre, that could be your chorus. And so it's all set up. I mentioned one touch setting is already sort of programmed up as well, but you can save it yourself, however you want it. Multi-pad control, you can have loops, you can have your own, samples, so that they need to be played together, obviously. You can have your own samples. So one of my friends, he puts in the whole of the sort of like the song being sung, and then he'll press play and then play along to that. Yeah, what else? So vocal harmony. Let me just grab the mic. My lovely assistant.
There you go.
Thank you. So let's grab something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2. So we'll put those chords. Harmony balance. It's quite cool. Also, you could do so. In here, we've got vocoders as well. So vocoder, 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 vocoder. Yeah. So and talking about that as well. So we've got an input here. And so what I've done is I put the mic through, so you could quite easily play sax along with something, sing along with it. You've got all sorts of cool stuff. So we've got a compressor, we've got insert effect, but we're not limited to having a mic put through here. You could put your guitar in, and so once we put our guitar in here, we've also then got the ability to put on some pretty cool, like amp models. So go in here. And you can get a real nice effect in this. So again, using the looper, you could be in the pub, you could be playing away, and you're also a bit of a shredder. So therefore, you pick up the track. You're playing an Ed Sheeran track, and up you get, and then you're Eddie Van Halen all of a sudden. And it sounds really cool. You can add the reverbs as well. So it's not just that insert, but in your mixer, you've got reverbs and choruses and stuff that you can add across on different sort of sounds. And they see it on the mic here, so I could add more reverb on it. Yeah, really cool. Something I missed from the top, very important as well, is the sounds. And a ton of new sounds in here, but importantly, for the first time in the PSR SX range, there's Super Articulation 2, which is, if you know about the Genos 2, it's coming from there. But there's also, so that's in the 920. There's also super articulation sounds in here and super articulation plus. Plus is twice as good as the normal super articulation, and so I don't even know what 2 is. But what it is when you hear a sax player going around, you don't just hear the note, the single notes being played. You often hear intricacies between it. There might be little runs, there might be some rasps, there might be some sort of bending of the notes. And on the guitar, you'll hear fret buzz movements and stuff, and all these different things. And actually, sometimes for me, I've got an old real piano at home, and when you record it, it's the creaks and the stuff that I actually love. And sometimes they've been sort of like almost worked out of instruments with an absolutely perfect piano recording. And now they're starting to put the stuff back in where you can hear the keys come back up and you hear the foot pedals and stuff. So I mentioned sax. Let's go choose a tenor sax. So you can see above where it says tenor sax, it says SR2. So this is a super articulation 2 sound. And of course, there we go. Let's go tenor sax. Right, so I've got that on. And let's go acoustic guitar. Let's find something. Concert guitar. Oh, do you hear the? So I've got my harmonics on an assignable there. And actually on some of these, I don't know, some of them you've actually got like someone hitting the board as well, which is quite cool. Beautiful pianos. I was actually at a store the other day with a real CFX, about 100 and something, 125 odd grand, 9 foot. So this is a sample from that. Very easy to add reverb as we play. We have, obviously, being a Yamaha model, we've got all the DX sounds from the DX7, the FM sort of technology. It's not FM, this is all AWM, 128 note polyphony, but great sounds, all coming from like that sort of late 80s. All this sort of stuff has been coming back in with like 1975 and stuff. What else? We've got some strings. So they brought in the Kino strings from the Genos range. Right, so there's just far too many sounds in here to go over. I mean, I think there's about 1,600 sounds in here. And that's before you start mucking around yourself. There's actually a new voice edit inside these as well. So it's easier to get around and change things if something's not perfect for what you want. but there's just tons of sounds. You can see, if I just go through, tons of percussion, instruments, synths, choirs, everything from, I'm sure there'll be like upright basses and, oh, there'll be the DX basses in here as well, which are very sort of Seinfeld and all that. Accordions and stuff. Actually, I heard for the first time that the accordion market is big. I didn't even know they could be plugged in and they were MIDI. But now when you're saving registrations, you actually have the option of saving the MIDI data as well, MIDI settings here. And this would be great if you've got more than one keyboard, or if you're somehow running an accordion and playing styles and doing stuff. Now you can save it so that you've got all the MIDI settings will be programmable per registration memory as well, which is a new feature and apparently very cool, accordion to some of you. And so, yeah, tons of sounds. Get yourself down to Guitar in Glasgow or around the country. Have a little play. Also, tons of styles, and I've pretty much just played you 3 or 4. They've all been pop or rock, but you can, if you so wish, you can do big band jazz. Let's just check it out. Let's have a big intro. That sort of stuff. And we could go, oh, go on, give me a number between 1 and 9.
66.
1 and 9?
6.
Thanks. Country. Give me a number between 1 and 20.
80.
All right, I think that's probably 8. Right, we are going to jive. Yeah, plenty of stuff in here. There's also movie and show stuff, so there's a lot of, sort of almost quite cinematic sort of styles. Loads of Latin and world, but importantly, we've got this expansion. And so in there's going to be free packs on the web as well, where you can download new styles, and they'll be coming out all the time, I'd imagine. There's also a new app for this, which I've not managed to get hands on because it's also new. But from what I gather, you'll be able to play a song and it'll kind of Shazam it and then go, do you know what? If you want to play that song, Disco Pop Jam will be perfect for it. And so that's quite a cool feature. I mean, I haven't got my hands on it yet, so I'm looking forward to that. The PSR SX range, the 920 and the 720, I mean, there's far too much really to put across unless we sat here for hours and you don't have the time, I don't know. Well, I've got the time, unfortunately. So yeah, come down, give it a go, play better stuff than me, and see what you think.